Good afternoon, CES, and welcome back to Tamco Live. I'm your host, Jordan McGinn. Thank you very much for tuning in with us on this live feed, and also a big thank you to those that have provided feedback to help us improve our live stream. As we know that staying up to date and informed is critically important, as knowledge is power, and we want you to have the power to supply. We are continuing our weekly broadcast of Tamco Live episodes. If you didn't catch the first two episodes, they'll be in our YouTube channel where you can watch them. Episode 1, we actually covered our manufacturing and production areas, so make sure to go watch that. In episode 2, we covered our warehousing and fulfillment operations. Quite impressive, actually. So with the previous videos, we want to make sure that the run times were relatively short for you guys. So when you need or when you want to ask questions, make sure to ask the questions early in the show so that we can get to them later when we're doing the live answers. Okay? Last week we mentioned COVID supplies, and there was one critical supply that is in high demand, and that's toilet paper. Well, I don't know if you heard exactly, but I said we have over 10,000 rolls of toilet paper. So, on to the Tamco update. Our production and fulfillment centers are all fully open and operational. Now, that's a very important thing, and a huge thank you to all of the Tamco team members that are making that possible on a daily basis. So today's tour is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to tour 2 areas of our business instead of just one. We are going to tour our engineering and quality control departments, respectively. So these 2 departments have a lot of synergy working together, and the fact that they need to kind of run together to make sure we bring products to market that are safe and effective. So we're going to start off in our engineering department, and to help us out with that, I'm going to invite Jeff McClure, our electrical engineer. Jeff, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Don't mind the toilet tissues. They're we've got plenty if you need some, by the way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just let us know. So, I know we've spent a few years working together, although we haven't necessarily worked for Tamco directly, but what is it, 5?
7.
7 years we've worked together. So time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to kind of just walk and talk through some of the areas. I know when we were doing this facility, you played a major role in that as well, and you kind of mentioned the areas we got down in engineering as a laboratory. Could you just expand upon that a little bit for us?
We have down there now, we have the ability to install fixtures, we have the ability to build custom fixtures, we have the ability to, whatever we do, we can bring them to market very fast. We can change lumen outputs fast. The laser machine is right there, tool and die, CNC machine, everything's right there readily available for us.
Yeah, allowing you guys to really kind of move between the different processes very quickly and efficiently so that there's no downtime between those processes. Mm-hmm. So an important process of the engineering department is actually product development. Could you kind of walk us through that, and where does it start from an engineering point of view?
If we just take, for example, the new HOR2 that we just launched, that was brought to us from Mark, talking about how he needed a new high bay and a 2x2 form factor. So at that point in time, I went online, found some, sent it to Mark and Anthony. They sent it out, got some feedback on it. And then me and Brian sat down and we took all the features and feedback that we got and made a prototype and came up with the HOR2.
So really, with all the resources we have in-house, we were able to take a market research-based product saying, hey, we need this out in the market today to address product demand. Take that and just shorten that product lifecycle loop and get it engineered, designed, through to manufacturing and out actually into the market today. It speaks volumes to what your team does for us.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to kind of lead you into our next guest a little bit here, so work with me. There's a lot of synergy between the quality control and engineering department. Could you kind of, what synergy do you see between those 2 departments?
Well, again, we'll take the HOR2 for example. As soon as we started the prototype, before we even got through with it, we took it into QC for them to go ahead and start standards, telling us what we could do, what we can't do. find out what we can do with listings, things of that nature. So what they were able to do was take care of all of the, those aspects of that product launch while we were still developing that product and testing it. So by the time we were done, they were done, so we were able to launch it a lot faster with all of us being here together.
Yeah, so having these two departments work hand in hand, we're able to kind of run both the product development and quality aspect and listing in parallel so that there's no lag in that process. When a product's ready, it's ready for market. Jeff, thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate what you do, and we're going to move on to our next guest here.
Okay, well, let's do this again. When we get fixing to launch that lighting control, let's do another one and let's talk about lighting control product.
Absolutely. We'll bring that product to the forefront and talk to our customers about it.
All right, y'all stay safe.
Thank you. So, engineering and manufacturing in general is kind of an interesting thing from a Tamco point of view, because it's one of the situations where you got the chicken and the egg, what comes first? Well, in our world, we make the part and we also make the tools. So we make the tool that makes the part and ultimately goes in to make the fixture. So we really house all of that within our four walls, which is very exciting. Not only are we able to bring new products to market quicker, but with our engineering and design capabilities, we're actually able to look at existing products and see the opportunities now with our expanded resources on how to bring them back to America and start making more products here in America. So we're going to shift focus now, and we're going to move on to our quality control department. And for that, I would like to invite Keith Kortick. He is our quality control manager. Keith, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing well.
Very good. So there was a pivot point years ago from a Tamco point of view that we could have taken the path of price or we could have taken the path of quality. And we stuck with the path of quality to develop quality products and to introduce quality into our processes. How has QC continued to expand upon that with new capabilities?
Well, moving into the new building helped us a lot. It allows us to add to what we already had. We now have a inbound inspection lab where we inspect finished product, raw materials, before it even really gets in the door. We've expanded our wet lab from 1 machine to 3. The sphere room now has not just the 1 sphere, but we can run all 3 spheres in there. And we have a batch test lab as well.
Absolutely. So kind of another benefit of the new building from our point of view is that now that you're in the new building, you actually have the opportunity to work closer with all the teams. Could you kind of let us know how QC is getting more involved across the entire operation?
Okay. It goes beyond testing fixtures. We work with the warehouse team, for example, working through some procedural issues with them, help them build their plan. Obviously was working with Jeff and his team hand in hand. I think we've streamlined things a lot there. Product managers, product specialists, rather being in separate buildings like we were before, now we're in one building and it's a 2-minute walk if they need something from us quickly.
Yeah, so I mean, the real thing there is just the overall experience that it's almost like quality control is like a service department to our other departments, and it's able to service them that much better because we're all right next to each other and we can communicate and streamline all of our processes.
Right.
So and I think another important point there is that Keith brought up that I don't want to quickly overlook and make sure we draw attention to is quality control is not just about products. It's actually also about processes, and it's about continuous improvement. And that's really where Keith's team is continuing to put their focus and effort. One last thing for you. I know you guys have put a lot of energy and effort into the lighting lab. Could you just kind of let us know what you're doing down there?
Yeah, we just finished our recertification to ISO 17025. Our results from that lab are now equal to anyone's out there. It's all done to international standard. Where our information is used is in spec sheets, for example, for efficacy on lighting products, lumens per watt, energy usage, those sorts of things.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time today. You're going to have you stay with me, though.
Okay.
You don't get to sneak off like Jeff did. And you're going to stay here for the question and answer session. So today's question and answer session is brought to you by Centaur's brand new rooftop supports. They're made in the USA and assembled here at Tamco. available both individually in this handy 6-pack carrying case. So shout it from the rooftops. So our first question that we have today is, if I have an idea for a new product, who should I talk to? Well, when we used to do the actual tours with customers coming in, honestly, that was a big point of feedback that the customers, whether they were end users or whether they were branch members, even our own team coming in with the sales team, we would actually kind of get feedback, not only on new products, but potentially existing products on how we could improve them. Obviously, I know that's not happening today, but what you guys can do is reach out to anyone within the Tamco team. You can call the main phone line number, or you can use the Tamco Live at tamcogroup.com and put in your feedback, and we'll look into it and we'll make sure we investigate it. So the second question we have from today is, around here and other places, restrictions are ending. What is this going to mean for y'all at Tamco? Well, what this is going to mean for us all is at some point getting back to normal, whatever that is going to look like. The reality of that is we want to be safe and we want to be smart. So, you know, we do still have a lot of our team members, where possible, working remote. And we're going to continue to do that until not only we feel safe, but they feel safe to come back to work and come back to the offices. But we still have team members, obviously, here in production and manufacturing that are keeping the plant open and running. So a special thank you to everyone that tuned in live today. You truly got to enjoy a live experience from our shower of toilet paper that went oh so perfect. And just like you were there to support your branches, please know that we are here to support you. I appreciate what you do. Thank you very much, and have a great afternoon. Well, all right, that worked out. A little interesting. We made it.